AICT sponsored FDP, sir. Ashish, sir.
Yes, yes, thank you. So I'm generally take care of the embedded systems, like acquiring the signals and converting into the digital and storing it into the some files which can be accessible in the MATLAB and some Excel and other
Okay, sir.
softwares. Yeah. So I will just open this presentation. Okay. Yeah. Present. So now we have acquired the ECG signal. Now we wanted to convert that into the digital signal. So we need a dedicated system, which is called as an embedded system. So basically, embedded system is nothing but a single chip, which is called as a microcontroller. We need to load a software into that microcontroller to work as per our need. So it is just a software program which is written in the C language, and there are other language available like assembly language, C language, C++ language. Some controllers support the Python programming. So with the help of this softwares, you can load the program into the microcontroller and you can make it work as per your need. So, so some of the boards we are generally using for our systems, like one board is like Arduino Uno. So these are just the highlights of this board. So the features like it has a USB plug, USB input, power supply input, some power connections, some analog inputs, and one microcontroller which we are going to program some in-system programming that is for the only for programming of this microcontroller. Uh, the other microcontroller, this microcontroller is used for the bootloading purpose. Means for example, this microcontroller has a firmware in that which will convert the data from the USB, and it will flash the data into this microcontroller. So in other way, we don't have to use this programming connector. So this is for the easy of the programming. So because of this controller, we don't have to use any other programming devices, which is flash programming, which available in the market. We don't need to use that. So to make this work like for programming, we need to add the bootloader. We need to flash the bootloader in this microcontroller. So once this is loaded, this microcontroller can talk with this microcontroller, and it will flash the data which is transmitted by this USB port from the software which is loaded into our computer. So it also has some outputs like digital I/O and some serial connections to talk with the other peripherals which are uh, based on the serial communication. Yeah. So other boards we use like Wi-Fi modules. So these are the two types of Wi-Fi module which are available with very low cost. So this is the ESP8266 chip, and this is the ESP32. The basic feature of this ESP32, it is only having the Wi-Fi module and some digital I/O to interface some inputs and output devices. Like we can use the LED, we can use the switch to take the inputs and some square wave signals also. And it also has a Wi-Fi, and other is like ESP32. So the feature is like it has a Bluetooth inbuilt and a Wi-Fi inbuilt. Both are integrated into the single chip. And other feature is like it has a 4 MB of flash memory, and ESP32 can go up to the 16 MB. So we have a lot of space available in this. And yeah, so the same thing like it also has this serial to this USB to serial converter to load the our software program into this Wi-Fi chip. And the same also having this with the ESP32. Yes. So the other is most widely used is a Raspberry Pi, which is a single board computer. it has a many feature inbuilt, like it can connect the HDMI or TV. It can connect the 7-inch TFT display, which can be dedicated computer. We can say we don't have to use another microcontroller. We, uh, we don't need to use other display if we want to make it portable. And it also has these USB ports and some Ethernet ports and audio inputs also. So basically this Raspberry Pi requires an operating system. This operating system we need to flash into this micro SD card. So how to flash this operating system into micro SD card? It is available on the Raspberry Pi websites. So once we flash this operating system into the micro SD card, we just need to provide the power and it will turn on. And also to interface some external peripherals, we have some GPIOs and some serial connection interfaces here. So with the help of some connectors and wiring, we can use those pins. So this is an example of ADC interfacing with the Raspberry Pi. This is because the Raspberry Pi doesn't have an inbuilt analog to digital converter module. So we need to use this external ADC module. So with the help of that, we can get the data into this Raspberry Pi and we can store into the file, which that file can be used into the MATLAB and Excel to analyze. So some specification of these boards, like in terms of this ADC modules and some features, this Arduino Uno ESP8266 and ESP32, and this is dedicatedly added for this external ADC, which is used for the Raspberry Pi, as the Raspberry Pi doesn't have a inbuilt ADC. So these boards are basically Arduino Uno is a 8-bit core, ESP8266 and ESP32 are 32-bit ARM core based. The analog input, this board have like Arduino Uno has only 6-channel analog input, and ESP8266 has only 1 channel, which is of 10-bit resolution only, and ESP32 has an 18-channel, which is of 12 bits. But based on our uses, we don't have all 18 channel for use. So based on our uses, we may have 8 to 10 channel for use for the analog to digital conversion. So the resolutions of this Arduino Uno ADC is like 8-bit, ESP8266 has a 10-bit, and ESP32 has a 12-bit. So for the greater resolution, we can use this ESP32 board for our ECG signal acquisition. And MCP3008 ADC chip has a 10-bit resolutions. So the other features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and serial communication. This Arduino doesn't support the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth communication because it doesn't have a inbuilt software of this Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We need to interface the external Wi-Fi and Bluetooth modules. As ESP8266 has a built-in Wi-Fi and it doesn't support the Bluetooth. ESP32 supports both the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and all have the serial communications implemented on the single chip. And one feature is like the digital to analog converter, which can be used to generate the ECG signal also for the analysis. So the first 2 chip doesn't support this digital to analog converter, but ESP32 has this 2-channel digital to analog converter. So based on the sampling rate, this Arduino Uno support maximum 74 kilo samples per second. So basically sampling rate is means whenever we are acquiring any signal, as per the Nyquist criteria, the input signal must be sampled twice the frequency of the input signal. Once this satisfied, we will get the good resolution or good details of this input signal. So based on this sampling rate, we need to select this chip. So the Arduino Uno has this 74 kilo samples per second, ESP8266 is 100 kilo samples per second, and ESP32 has the 200 kilo samples per second. The same has this MCP 3008. So even the supplier has mentioned this 100 kilo samples per second sampling rate. It will the actual sampling rate, actual throughput will comes below the 10 kilo samples per second, because as the process involves the capturing the ADC signal and converting that into the digital, and storing it into the some internal RAM, or sending it to the some external peripheral and storing into the some files. It will take a lot of time. So based on this, our implementation of the firmware, the actual output may vary. So the actual output you can get up to the 10 kilohertz. Maybe if you have good programming knowledge, you can go up to the 20 kilohertz with this ESP32 and ESP8266 chips. So yeah. So one system is like this is for example the bio amplifier. Uh, so this has a electrode. So we take the signal from the humans. We use the instrumentation amplifier to acquire the signal of a particular band. Then we use the filter to remove the noise, unwanted noise from the input signal. And the final signal is the analog signal. This analog signal is input to the microcontroller. So the microcontroller, we can use anything like Arduino Uno, ESP8266, ESP32 based on our need. And the same microcontroller, we can like transfer the data through the Wi-Fi, through the Bluetooth on the mobile, and through this USB connectivity or some serial communication to the computers. So this is the example of some real-world application with the help of this Raspberry Pi. As the Raspberry Pi has a built-in features like camera, we can interface the monitor. It also has the built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi communication, so it can be easily connected with the internet. So this Raspberry Pi interface with this heart sound sensor, blood pressure sensor, and pulse rate sensor. So this information will be captured through some software program in the Raspberry Pi, and we can easily transfer this to the internet. And through the internet, it can be accessed using the smartphone and PC at various remote locations. So this is the another example. If we can see, there is a dedicated sensor which is mounted on this wrist, the pulse sensor. It is directly connected with this mobile, and this mobile can transfer this data through the internet, through the cloud systems, to the desktops, and the person or doctor who is requesting that data. So this kind of a system we can develop with the help of this microcontroller and some single board PCs like Raspberry Pi 3. So to program this microcontroller and this Raspberry Pi, we need a particular set of instructions. We need to develop the program. So this Arduino supports the C programming language. So this is just few lines of code that is used to acquire the ECG signal. So these few lines includes like this is the header file, some variables we need to declare, and we need to set up this serial communication port. Maybe I can show here. Yeah, this Arduino Uno has this USB port. So we need to set up, we need to initialize this serial port to communicate with the computer, to transmit and to receive the data. So for this, to initialize that module, we need to use this line serial.begin with some baud rate, which is here as a 9600. Uno also supports the 115200. It is around 112 kilobits per second baud rate. So we can also set based on our need how much faster we need to transfer the data. Actual part comes here, like reading the analog signal, printing some outputs on the terminal, going to show on this hands-on converting that value, which is read from this analog pin, send it to the computer with this function and putting some delay. The delay is here of in millisecond, that is 1000 millisecond, which is comes around 1 second. So these loops will runs in a continuous in the infinite time, and it will start capturing the data. So based on this signal, we need to select this delay. For example, if we need to capture the 1 kilohertz signal, we can add the delay of 1 millisecond. Only just we need to write 1 here. So 1 millisecond is, comes around 1 kilohertz. So you will get this. You will easily capture the signals of 1 kilohertz and above that. Sorry, below that signal. And this is the short lines of code for the Raspberry Pi, which is based on purely Python. I will just give a brief of this. Which are the libraries? So, Raspberry Pi has a set of libraries they have developed. Means many other manufacturers are developing these libraries. So, we need to include those libraries into our program. Like Adafruit is one manufacturer who are constantly developing the libraries for various peripherals. So, we are including this Adafruit library, and the chip we are using for the analog to digital conversion, that is MCP 3008. And it is the time just to give the delay in between while continuous running loop. So these are the print function, only just to print some output and some, we can say, some formatting on the terminal. So you can easily identify the data which is displayed on the terminal. And now this is the main program, that is while true. It will keeps on running till we don't close this Raspberry Pi. So it is capturing the signals like ADC signals of total 8 channel in the for loop, and it is putting into the list which is generally called as a array, and just it will print the output onto the terminal, and there is a delay like time dot sleep 0.5, which is comes around 500 milliseconds only, and it will keep on acquiring the data, and it will keep on printing the data. So that's all. So we will show you how we capture the data and how we display that onto the computer. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Yeah.
Hello. So I am back.
So once you connect the electrode, you can see this waveform on DSO. So we can see the ECG signal here. The same signal we can see on the serial terminal on the computer. So you can create the file of this. There is option here like record. So you just need to click on this record button, and it will record all this ECG data into a single file, and that file you can import into this MATLAB and other software which are supported. So is it understood to everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
We'll go back to laptop.
Yeah. Okay. I will go back to laptop.
Move. पहिलं. Okay, can you see me?
Ashish sir, can
Yeah,
you mute your audio, sir?
Ashish, to mute your audio.
Yes, yes.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. Can you see me? Hello, can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So that is all we had to show today. So if there is any question, you can ask.
Sir, how to decide the number of channel in the Raspberry Pi board? Because
How to
there
decide?
is no built-in ADC in that. So how we are deciding the number of channel of acquisition?
No. You have to choose the ADC accordingly, and then if the ADC should have more channels, and the data will come here. Raspberry Pi does not have ADC anyway. So you have to choose that ADC chip accordingly.
If we are recording a multiple signal like ECG and EEG at the same time from the Raspberry Pi, so how
Yeah.
our Raspberry Pi will be identifying the various ADC and how we will be initiate that like Raspberry Pi, as well as how we will be selecting the serial port for that.
Well, Ashish will answer that. 1 minute.
Yeah. So basically, the chip which I have displayed, like. Yeah, in this MCP 3008 chip, yeah, is my presentation is visible?
No.
Yes, sir. Okay. So this MCP 3008 has 8 channel. Okay, so it supports the serial communication. So serial communication means it is a serial peripheral interface, that is SPI communication. So how to communicate with this chip? It is all mentioned in the data sheet. We just need to follow the instruction, and based on some instruction, we need to select the channel. Okay, maybe if required, I can show that data sheet. So this data sheet has everything details they have given, how to select the channel and how to start the conversion. Yeah. So if you see here, there are 8 channels, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 7. And these are the pin connection, serial data in, out, and serial call. So these are dedicatedly for the SPI communication. And how to communicate with that, it is given in this here in this information. Yeah. So the informations are like some configuration bits. We need to provide this kind of configuration, whether we want to single-ended, whether we want to differential signal, and how to select this channel. So some in few register while transferring the data, we need to add this information, and it will be configured as a single-ended, or it will be configured as a differential. Yeah, some communication formats they have mentioned how we have to start. So these are the bits, and once it is conversion is started, it will put the data on the bus, and this data we will receive into the Raspberry Pi. Actually, anyway, we don't have to go into details of that. The library which I have included into the source code, that library is taking care of that. That is a Adafruit library. We just have to study the APIs provided by this library. For example, this mcp.read ADC I is a channel number. So we just have to pass one value to this function, and it will capture that particular channel data. Is it okay?
Yes. So now I'm But in between, if there is a difference in the signal, like physical signal means we are connecting the lead with the subject, and meanwhile we are getting the some signal from our Wi-Fi devices also. So how we can segregate that data in case of this Raspberry Pi?
No, you will not get any differentiation, means disturbance from the Wi-Fi signal. If suppose you are getting any difference or a noise from the Wi-Fi, you need to add the filter between this that MCP chip and the signal which is output from the device, that is ECG amplifier or anything you are connecting. You just need to add some amplification circuit to remove that noise. Otherwise, there will not be any interference from the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
So in the market, there are with respect to processing capacity and RAM, there are the various kind of the Raspberry Pi board is available.
Yes.
So the range maybe starting from like 3,000 to maybe 15,000 or 20,000. So what are the differences in the various kind of the board, and what kind of the application we can run in that kind of board?
Actually, the difference is like the latest Raspberry Pi, which has a processing capability which is running on the more gigahertz frequency, like 1.4 gigahertz. So it is again based on our need. If you are only using the ADC channel, then you don't need to go for this Raspberry Pi. You can go with this Arduino Uno also. But the Raspberry Pi feature is like you can have a GUI on that. You can write the software to display the ECG signal on this Raspberry Pi also. If you want to provide a dedicated system, you can go with the Raspberry Pi instead of going the other microcontroller interfacing some display units, which is again more costly. So the Raspberry Pi gives you the better option to display, to develop the GUI software, and which also has some Wi-Fi and Bluetooth communication also, which can be connected with the mobile. So it is again based on our need.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions?
So Ashish sir, have you finished your session?
Yes, I have finished my
Okay,
session.
okay. Participants, are there any more questions, please?
Sorry?
I'm asking the participants.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
The participant lecture.
So if there are no questions, we can close the session. Right, sir?
Okay, sir.
Sir, Satish Yadav, sir, thank you very much.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello.
So there is a problem with my camera. I will just.
No problem.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us time. Even though it is a holiday, you.
No, we work on all Sundays. We work on all Sundays. There is no holiday for us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
We have really enjoyed your session, sir. You have
Yes.
given some information about this your BioKit. We will
Yes.
definitely